I'm Rob. I'm with Richie Sales, and I'm here with Lisa and Everick from Everick Brown Design.
Yeah.
And we are so excited to have them. They're launching their bedding line with BBH today, and they're here at Hubbard and Forge to talk a little bit about design. We have a couple questions for them that we were curious about. Your background started in fine arts before fully transitioning into interior design. How did that creative foundation shape the way that you approach spaces today?
So interestingly enough, my background is liberal arts, not fine arts. It should have been fine arts. I was raised in a fine art environment. My mother was a fashion designer by training, artist throughout her entire life. So I was what I would call overly exposed. Other than that, I actually graduated with a degree in government, which most institutions call liberal. Oh my God, why can't I think of it? Anyway, it was government at my college. We'll get there. It's early.
It's okay. It's just first coffee. You've been designing for more than 20 years.
Yeah, we're rolling up on 25 years, 26 years.
Wow, 25 years, 26 years. So what has stayed consistent in your approach, and what has evolved over time that's most notable to what you do?
Interesting. You want to take
I
a
would
stab?
say that what has stayed consistent is our clientele and the relationships that we've built, the connections over the years. We really don't advertise. All of our business is sort of word of mouth, and the same networks or the same client, on their fifth house.
Mm-hmm.
So like over the years,
Yeah.
we've done a lot of that.
Yeah, that's a great point. So not only might they be on their third or fourth house, but we're actually now working with children starting to move into grandchildren.
That's amazing.
But I would say the most consistent thing from an aesthetic standpoint is our approach to what I call global. My inspiration has always been Asia and Africa from the start, and still continues today.
Cool.
And also that our goal what we want most for clients is to feel warm and welcomed and like they're getting a hug when they walk in their home. And we're not trying to ever design to a bling or, it's not about walk in my home and oh my God, who was your designer? It's really like, wow, I love being here. It's so great. It just feels good.
Awesome. So, leading into the next question, your work speaks a lot to creating homes that feel calm, balanced, and deeply personal.
Yes.
What does that look like for you in practice when you're starting a new project?
Well, I like to start with color.
Yeah.
And so I think color sort of informs everything. The only thing I would say that might happen before we jump into color is when you walk into a space, it's already going to give you natural light or not. And then from there, we start to go into color. I start with color because it sort of informs a lot of things, how a client thinks, how they make decisions, what they like, what they don't. Sometimes if they don't know what they like, a lot of times they'll just go, no, 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 and that will inform what they do like.
Interesting. A lot of your projects involve renovations and new builds. What do you think is most important to get right early in the process so a home ends up feeling both beautiful and functional?
Yeah, it's interesting because the home that we're working on with you and on Martha's Vineyard, it's a new build. We started with them before they broke ground. And of course, I always think of Hubbard and Forge because I think that it's organic and it's natural and it looks it's so well made, that it will absolutely support any home, right? And so when we start with a home that is architecturally different and unique, sometimes it's hard to bring in the warmth. And a lot of that is, like Everick said, with color. The paint colors make a big difference in changing anything that's very, very modern to still feeling warm and lighting.
Yeah, and I would say for me, one of the most important things is really understanding the vision of the client.
So for new clients, You guys are very collaborative and reassuring. But how do you build that trust initially with new clients, especially during those like larger renovation projects that can be really daunting for somebody that's never undertook that before?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just say I think it's all about communication. So often people always say it starts with listening. So it is listening, but I think it's also our ability to sort of regurgitate back to the client what we heard. So constantly through the entire project, it's communication. What is your style? We define it. Is this it? Check in, and it all becomes communication.
But we also sort of design into two, so we don't do store everything and bring it all in at once. I think that sometimes, I mean, that works for a lot of designers, but it also means like, well, if they don't like it, it's done, right?
Yeah.
But as you design, as you're sort of developing it as you go along, sometimes it gives you a moment to to adjust and make sure they like it. In fact, when they respond to something that they really love, then you know what to do. If they respond to something that I'm not comfortable with, that you have an opportunity to change.
So that really feels like more of a boutique evolution process.
It's an evolution process, correct.
It's probably slightly inefficient, but I'm sure that.
Hold up. It's not inefficient.
It's not.
No, it's like composing music or choreographing a dance, right? It could be more efficient if we're working in situ and we're making changes as we go along versus when you go for the big bang, you bring it in. Now it's inefficient because you've done something wrong and you got to wait for things to come. Versus I'm working, adjusting, getting better, evolving through the process.
I love that. I learned something there.